What's up, everybody? My name is Parasite, and welcome back to Rebuilding Chelsea. Today we have AZ in the Europa Conference League second knockout round, second leg. We won the first leg 2-0, so we're in a pretty good position to get the win here and get to the next round of the Europa Conference League. We are also playing West Ham in the Premier League. I thought I might come back for Bournemouth in the FA Cup quarterfinal, but West Ham is actually the first game we have where we can officially win the league. We are currently 20 points clear at the top, and if we would beat Tottenham, a win against West Ham will secure us the league title, no matter what Arsenal does. So I'll come back for that game. I didn't want to do AZ and Bournemouth and then play Tottenham and then just play the next game as the game for the episode. I wanted to have, hopefully, our next round of the Europa Conference League be the next episode. So we've played a couple games, though, since I last saw you. You were last here for Arsenal, disappointment against Arsenal in the EFL Cup final, and the win against Wolves, thanks to Milan Vidovic in the 83rd minute. We then played Watford, and Milan Vidovic, fantastic again, a hat trick in the second half. Effiong and Abejan scored in the first. Vidovic just decided he wanted a hat trick, so he threw one together in the second half. He's been fantastic. He played against AZ as well in the first leg, and he scored both goals. So he gave us the 2-0 win away from home against AZ, so we're in a great position, 2 away goals. They didn't score a single home goal, so they have a lot to play for here. And we're going to put out a strong team, because I'm not going to take them too easy, even though I really want to win the quarterfinal of the FA Cup. But I want to win the Europa Conference League more. I still want to win a European competition. I value it probably a little bit more than the FA Cup. So I really want to win that. And Vidovic won't be playing for this game. We did play Derby County. I did not play Vidovic for that. I rested him for this game, so we still won 3-1. They were bottom of the table, but they were actually in really good form. Like, they were like 10th in the form table, but they were 20th in the league, so they must have been really far bottom at the beginning, but they got into some good form, so they provided us a little bit of competition, but Ring with a goal, Enrique with a goal, and Daryl Wilson finally with getting a goal. So that was good to see. But now we're going to be playing AZ. The team I've got, if I can get there. This is the team I'm putting out. Wilson's coming back in on the right wing. He got a goal in the last game. I want to see if he can keep that form going. He had 2 terrible games in a row, and I dropped him. But he's back in the team for now. If he doesn't perform again, he'll quickly drop out for Effiong, who's been in really good form. He had a really bad last game, though. So that's why Daryl Wilson's going to come in. Enrique behind the striker, which is going to be Milan Vidovic. Soler is back and ready for selection, but Vidovic is in such good form, I just can't drop him. So Vidovic is going to get the start either way. Mather and Dawson in the midfield. Alak, Nicholson. Nicholson is actually going to come in to start this match because he's been in decent form, and I think Joe Blake just hasn't been at his best. He's got a little bit better average rating in the last 5, but I want to give Nicholson a little bit of a shot, and he needs to match sharpness, and I think we should be able to handle this, so I felt it was a good time to give Nicholson the game. Next to Genovese, and we got Bejan and Gashi, so still a really strong squad, but am I going to put Allaire in there? I thought about playing Allaire. I'm actually going to play him for the FA Cup, though. I think I want Allaire for the FA Cup. This one I don't think is as big of a game as that one is. I might play Curtis for this game. I'm actually going to play Jonathan Curtis for this game, though. Give him a little bit of match sharpness. I promised what I promised him. I had to promise him to make sure he's sold if we got a $70 million bid. If we got a $70 million bid, I'm running that all the way up to wherever the team came from. If it's a Dutch team, I'm running to Holland and getting that deal done, because I would love $70 million for a 31-year-old. That's a lot of money. So I don't think that's going to happen, though. But enough talk. Let's get into this game against AZ. It should be a comfortable victory. We've got the 2-0 lead, like I said, so see if we can see this game out. I'm going to say I fully expect you to keep our run going and win this match. Tell them I have faith. That works well. Works wonders. Both teams come into this one in good form. How do you rate your chances ahead of kickoff? We're going to have to be at our very best to get something today. AZ are as good as they come and will certainly be able to cause us 1 or 2 problems. Milan Vidovic has been in fine goal-scoring form of late. How important will he be here today? We certainly hope he can keep that form going, and he expects that of himself too. 4 wins in a row. We did have the 1 loss, obviously to Arsenal, which is disappointing, but we turned our season around after that and made sure we won every single game. Not really turned our season around. Our season's been going pretty well, but We didn't let that loss hurt us. We continued and got all the wins we needed right after that. Playing some good teams in there too. And obviously next we've got a good team against Tottenham, and Bournemouth are an okay team. Bottom of the Premier League. Not bottom, but I think they might be in the relegation zone or just above it. So they're not doing too hot, but it's still going to be a hard game. It's still a Premier League squad, which is, they're always good. So Mather with a free kick, hits the post. Chance for a great free kick goal. I think that would have been his first free kick goal of the season. But he can't beat the post. And Wilson with the ball now. Back to Curtis. Back to Genovese. I trust him with completely on the ball. He's such a good ball player. Gabriel Enrique, who's been fantastic, is labeled as a world-class player right now. And I bought him for like $20 million on a whim. Like, it just randomly showed up in my scouting report that a dude was like 4 stars in Brazil. And Milan Vidovic. He's so good. Why did Everton let him leave? And they barely played him last season. Even though he scored a lot for them. Like, the games he did play, he gave a lot off the bench. And he still scored like a goal a start. It was unbelievable that they didn't play him more and that they're willing to let him go out on loan when he's probably their best striker. Kaiwak and Jones is good, but Vidovic is more consistent. And I value consistency pretty highly. And obviously it's a good thing because he's done wonders for us so far these last couple weeks. Vidovic has been the in-form man, so I can't drop him. I'm going to hopefully start him in the FA Cup as well. Ring with the ball across. Vidovic looking for another goal, but his header goes against the crossbar. All 6'7" of them was able to get up to reach that. As Genovese scores another goal from a corner. His 18 heading coming into play. He's not the best in terms of getting there, but if he does get there, he's probably going to head it on target. More often than not, at least. He's been great. I think it's really nice to have a little bit better of an aerial presence because obviously Nicholson's a pretty decent presence. He got quite a few goals for us. And Blake's should be a really good aerial presence, but he just doesn't seem to perform, even though he's 6'5". But Genovese has been what I've kind of been expecting from those two, mostly from Blake, but he's kind of what I've been expecting, and he's a good source of goals from out of nowhere. As Mather with a nice interception is going to go on goal, gets blocked, but if Vidovic can't get it on target, and he gets cleared away. Thought Vidovic was going to have a chance there, but he just was at too tight of an angle. We have absolutely destroyed them so far. We're up 4-0, obviously, on aggregate. They need 5 goals. No, they need 4 goals. They would win in 4. So they need 4 goals. I don't think that's going to happen. We've not allowed 4 goals very often, if at all, this season. So I don't think it's going to happen today against AZ in our hometown. That's going to be halftime. A 2-0 lead going into the second half. Only 3 shots on target, and we have 2 goals. We've been clinical. Not in terms of getting our shots on target, but in terms of converting those shots on target into goals, we've been clinical. I'm very happy, very pleased with your performance. Keep it going, lads. I'm not delighted, but I'm pleased. Probably going to be giving Soler a little bit of game time because he needs some match sharpness. I might start Soler for the FA Cup, depending on... Vidovic will be fit enough, so I'll probably start Vidovic. I can't sit him. So strikers don't typically lose a lot of stamina. Even if you are a high-pressing team, they typically don't get among the most tired in your team, even if they don't have great stamina. I don't know why that is exactly, because they should be closing down the defense quite a bit, but they just don't seem to run as much as your midfielders, your fullbacks. Mostly just your midfielders and fullbacks that get really exhausted. As Vidovic is going to luck into another goal. I'm not going to give him too much credit for that one. I'm pretty sure Ring just hit it against him, and it went into the back of the net. I don't think he knew anything of it. But now I can't take him off because he has a brace. Curtis with the ball across into Ring. He hits it. Oh, no, he does get a foot on it. He does intentionally hit that into the back of the net. I thought it just hit him, but he did swing at it. That is still a Vidovic goal. That is his second of the game. Why are you showing him offside? Wait, was he offside? He was offside, definitely. How is he not offside? Did that just show him being offside and then give me the goal? Let's go back here a sec. Reverse. Holy crap, that was a lot of... You're very far in the future from where I... Okay, screw it. I think that was somehow an offside goal, but whatever. I'll take it. I don't think we needed it, but that certainly looked offside to me. Wilson looking for Vidovic, trying to get his hat trick, but he's at a very tight angle. He's going to have help, unless he gets taken down, in which that looked to be in the box. That was at least on the line, and on the line counts as in the box. So that should be a penalty, and he should be able to be getting his hat trick. And I will immediately take him off if he does score it. This better be a penalty, because it definitely looked like one. It was. Penalty has been awarded. He should be. Yep, Vidovic is stepping up, and he gets his hat trick. He's so good. That was kind of a not a panic signing, but like a why not signing. I was just looking at all the loan offers, see who's the most valuable player for loan, and it was Vidovic, and I just felt like I had to do it. We were lacking a little bit of depth at striker. Like, obviously, our two backups played in the starting lineup, so I wanted another striker in the team, and he's just. I know he was a good player, and he obviously played for me previously, and I just felt it was a perfect marriage of a player and a team, and it's been better than I had even expected. I didn't expect him to get a lot of game time, because Solaire's been fantastic last season. He started off fantastic this season, but he dropped off form for a little bit. Vidovic came in and scored a decent number of goals. Wilson was actually scoring a lot of goals then, but Vidovic came in and scored a few, and then Solaire got hurt, and Vidovic came in and has absolutely banged in the goals. So yeah, I love Vidovic. That's basically the long and short of it. We're trying to make another sub, though. Ring usually gets pretty tired, so I'll take him off. We're on Marcus Connor. And we'll see who gets most tired. I'm actually... Enrique, Mather, and Curtis all... I don't care about Curtis as much. I'm going to take off Mather. We're on Preben, Busk. I'm going to take off... I can't take off Enrique. That's 3 subs. I'm fine with those 3 subs. Busk getting game time is only a good thing. He should be able to develop into a world-class player. And in that instance, we'd have Busk, who I think is world-class, as he scores a great goal, by the way. What a goal that is from Busk. And we are 5-0 up, 7-0 on aggregate. I did not expect it to be this comfortable over the 2 legs. When I first saw that fixture pop up, I was a little bit disappointed because there were a lot smaller teams out there I felt like we could have got. But we have absolutely thrashed AZ. But speaking of our world-class players, I think Enrique's a world-class player. Wilson's a world-class player. Busk, I think, will be a world-class player. I think Alak is. I think Abejan is. I think Genovese is. Solaire is just right on the cusp, I think. If he was more consistent, I think he would be world-class, but he's been a little bit inconsistent in the Premier League. Busk with an assist now, with a nice through ball to Connor. Connor's a hell of a player. He is one of the best. He's probably the best backup on this team. And it's unfortunate that he's backing up probably the best player on this team. So that's a little bit unfortunate for him. He's not going to get quite as much game time as he might get otherwise. But Reagan does get tired quite a bit. So he's still going to get a good amount of game time. I'm out of subs, so why am I even pausing it? It's 6-0 on the night. On 7 shots on target. Feels a little bit lucky, but I'll take it. I'm very pleased with the result and your performance. Vidovic with the hat trick. And now I've got a couple games, a couple tough games too. Big game in the FA Cup. Gabriel Enrique is he natural at attacking mid now? He is. He is now natural at attacking mid and left wing. Now I need to get him natural at striker. Those are the 3 roles he's probably going to play. He'll play a little bit some of left mid, a little bit some on the left wing, but let's get him natural as a striker. Working on his ball control. He's not really growing up as much as I'd hoped, but 18 passing now. Pretty sure that was not 18 before, so he looks absolutely ridiculous. If he had like 15 dribbling, he would be even more of a world-class player. They say he's world-class. I don't know if he's world-class right now. They're not currently saying he's world-class. They did before. Guess he's not been in as good a form, so they're kind of falling off a little bit, but he's dang good. How much did we get him for? $14.5 million. What a steal from Victoria Polson. Daryl Wilson getting natural in his position. He should already be natural. Yeah, he's natural at right wing. So I'm getting these players natural in the positions they play. We get Pacos de Ferreira in the Conference League draw for the quarterfinal. That's probably an easier team than AZ. So if AZ was a 8-0 on aggregate, what's this game going to be? We might be a cricket score here. That's going to be, when's that scheduled? After the Tottenham game, actually, is the first leg. They've pushed the West Ham game way down. So what am I going to do now? Because I think that changes my plans. Because I think what I'll do, that Burnley game is now when we can win the title. Because we are 20 points clear. And then 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 points are right there. So if we beat Burnley and beat Tottenham, we win the league. So I'm going to actually show this Bournemouth match. And then I'll come back next time for Burnley Pacos de Ferreira, second leg. So that's what I'll do now. Obviously, the schedule change has changed up my plans. I expected it to be AZ and us probably winning the league. But instead it's going to be AZ and us hopefully beating Bournemouth and getting to the semifinal of the FA Cup. So I will see you for Bournemouth. Yeah, let's see if we can win it. Before we get to the Bournemouth match, we had our youth intake, and I've already signed them. These are the players that we got, the best players that we got. I signed a couple 3-star players and 2.5-star players that aren't really just going to be fillers, but these are the best players. The first one we got is Lewis Church, a center back / right back. I think he can do both. He can be a nice cover piece for us. Obviously, his physicals need a lot of work, and his ball control and crossing needs a lot of work. But he's already got good tackling and teamwork and positioning and work rate. I think he could do pretty good at both center back and right back. So I'm training him as right back now to get him natural there. We then have Razat Yilmaz, who is a midfielder, definitely a deep-lying playmaker. 17 passing, 15 vision at 16 years old, and 15 first touch, and 15 composure, and 12 decisions. Those are some crazy numbers. I need to work on his defensive area of the game because we play a deep-lying playmaker on defend, so he needs to improve some there, but he could be really good. He only has 3.5-star potential, but he could be a really good depth piece for us. So I like him. Then other ones we got, Jonah McLaughlin, 4-star player, 15 years old, a goalkeeper. He looks pretty dang good. That is a good 15-year-old goalkeeper. 4-star potential, Jamaican. So I like Jonah McLaughlin. Our final two were Devin Vance. So this is a pretty good youth intake. We got quite a few pretty good youth players. Devin Vance, another 4-star player. I think he's a box-to-box midfielder. I'm working on his dribbling. That's the only thing that's really holding him back from being a box-to-box, and his stamina and work rate. But I think with his tackling and passing and vision, he could be a deep-lying playmaker, but he needed to get that passing up quite a bit to match his vision. So I think he's a player that can kind of do both roles. He is, what nationality is that? Trinidad and Tobago. So that's pretty interesting. You don't see very many Trinidad and Tobago players that have 4-star potential ability for Chelsea. So he's really good, but the best of them all, Jacob Wald, 16 years old, started off as a 1.5-star ability player, with 5-star potential, an attacking mid with amazing mentals for 16 years old, some really good technicals for 16 years old, 14 passing, 13 tackling, 13 vision. He could also be a deep-lying playmaker on defend. That might actually be where I'd rather have him. Teamwork's nice. I might actually train him there and be able to use him in both. Deep lying playmaker on defend. To use that tackling ability. I'm working on his dribbling right now. I don't know if that's not really necessary for a deep lying playmaker, but if we're going to play him as an attacking playmaker, it is kind of important. What all physical abilities do you need for attacking midfielder on support? Agility. So if I work on agility and balance, that'll help him for both. So let's do that. Let's work on his agility and balance. And those are all the players. This is a guy we got quite a few years ago. I think before I got here, the year before I got here, Sebel, a 18-year-old Turk, left back. He's 2 stars at 18 years old. He looks ridiculous. For an 18-year-old, he's very good. He's got 5-star potential. He's going to be very good. Very, very good. He's going to definitely be our starter one day. That's the best players at this club, though, in terms of youngsters. Obviously, Milton Leon, a guy we signed, is up there, too. So we've got a little bit of good youth in this team. But that's about it. So, got Bournemouth here in a couple days. I'll advance now to the Bournemouth match, and I'll see you there. And one last thing before we get to the Bournemouth match. We are on the day of the Bournemouth match, but I'm bringing in another player, Tomas Sablek from Banik Ostrava, for 1.5, raising to 5.5 million. I think that's the exact same price that we got for Milton Leon. He's not quite as good, but he's a year younger. He's only 17 years old. And he's pretty good. He's probably also a right winger, but he can play on the left wing naturally as an inverted winger. I'll probably train him to play on the right wing, but I can play him on both. But he's really good physically for 17 years old. He's got some really good mentals where he needs him flair off the ball. I think he's literally better just as a winger than an inverted winger. There's less mentals that you need for an inverted winger. He doesn't have the passing. I'll work on that when he gets here. But good first touch dribbling and crossing. A great place to start from for a 17-year-old. And such a cheap deal, I couldn't turn it down. There was another deal we were going for. It's not going to show it, but I don't know if I can find it. Another really good player. I don't remember his name even. I look for the short list. Go to the top. Is this it? Robert Jose. I think this is it. Yeah, Robert Jose. Another left winger this time. Really good physicals. Again, he's really good at 18 years old. We agreed a price on him. I had to pay his release clause, which is $13.75 million, which is a lot of money. But for a 5-star potential player, I couldn't say no. It says he's 2-star ability in the scout report, but here it says he's 2.5 stars as an inverted winger. Even though I don't know why he's an inverted winger when I guess he is either-footed. He does have a strong right foot. So I think he could be really good. He doesn't know the right side, but he kind of knows attacking mid, so he could be pretty versatile too. I just got to agree to a contract with him. We wanted to give him a contract. He took out some clauses, and he got upset and just completely shut us out. So I'll come back in later for him, but I'd like to sign him. So I'm going to have just a bunch of wingers at this club, more than I could even play. So I don't know what I'm going to do at winger, but this is the squad I'm going for the Bournemouth match. We have an international break after this game, so I'm going to risk guys like Gabriel Enrique, who's a little bit tired. I still want to start him because I don't want to take it easy on Bournemouth. I'm going with what I think is our strongest squad. Diaby's been in great form, so he's going to get the start next to Genovese. Dawson's going to come back in. Other than that, Vidovic starts up top. The same team we saw last time. He's averaging an 8.22. He has 20 goals out of nowhere. How many games has he started? He has started 10 games, and he has 20 goals. He's averaging a brace a game. He has 12 goals in continental competitions and 5 starts. Vidovic is nuts. So let's see if he can do that again today. I'd like to see a few more goals. If he could be our top goal scorer, that would be unbelievable. Let's see if he can do it. We actually lost to Bournemouth in our last match, so I'm going to say we owe Bournemouth after what happened in our last match. Go out there and get revenge. Everyone but Alak and Vidovic, who probably wasn't here when that happened. Was he here? I don't know. He didn't play for sure. You come into this one in good form whilst your opponents do not. Do you perhaps fear complacency ahead of kickoff? Bournemouth are a better team than their recent run of form might indicate, and they're going to give us a really tough match here. Christian Valencic is one of the best dribblers in the FA Cup. Do you have a plan to stop him? We're definitely going to have to pay him close attention, and we've worked on some ideas in training. They're actually one place ahead of the relegation zone, so they're in a relegation battle. So obviously this isn't the Premier League, so they don't have anything to play for other than trying to get to the final of the FA Cup, which every team's trying to play for, but they shouldn't have a motivation advantage against us. So nice to get an injury right off the bat for John Ring. That's great. But we should be able to beat them. We should be able to handle them pretty comfortably. If we were able to beat AZ 8-0, we should be able to beat Bournemouth pretty comfortably. They're probably a better team than AZ still. That's just how good the English league is. The Premier League is so good that a relegation threatened team is probably better than one of the best teams in the Netherlands. There's just so much money in the Premier League, though. Every team can get such good players. But it's down to tactics. It's down to having the little bit better quality like that Vidovic has, as you can see, as he scores another goal. Is he going to be my starting striker for the rest of the season? Do I buy Vidovic and have him our starting striker over Soler, over Wilson? With this form, I have to. I don't have a buy option in the loan contract, unfortunately. Kind of wish I would have thrown one in now after seeing this. I did not expect this at all. I expected him to not play a whole lot of football, but when he did, I didn't expect a whole lot. He obviously impressed me with Everton. He had a pretty good season in the season we won the Premier League. But nothing like this. He wasn't scoring a brace a game. he's been in crazy form. I guess it's just having the better quality around him has really upped his game. As they might score here. They're going to. A header from the back post. And Masamba Faye scores a pretty quality header across the goalkeeper into the far post. De Oliveira with the ball in eventually. No, it's actually going to go back to Valencic. No, back to De Oliveira. And Faye heads it on, and just a perfect header. Really hard to get the power from that angle, from that position. He was pretty far out, and hitting that across goal. Genovese almost gets another goal and equals and gives us the lead back. But it's going to be 1-1, probably going into halftime, unless there's somebody has a last word to say. Doesn't look like it's going to be. It is halftime. 1-1. I'm far from pleased. We shouldn't be struggling against a team that's 1 point or one game away from the relegation zone. When we just beat AZ, who's, like I said, Bournemouth are a better team, but AZ are still a good team. The Dutch league is still a good league. Vidovic is going to score another one, isn't he? Oh, he puts it just wide. I thought that was guaranteed to be another Vidovic goal. Ring is really struggling. Andy's on a yellow. I might have to take him off. Seems that bruise is holding him back. It's Vidovic. He's just so good. There's his normal brace a game. He has scored his brace. That's what he does. He scores a brace every single game. What a player. What a player. Enrique with the ball. Great ball in from Gabriel Enrique. Gets it on his stronger foot. Just whips it in. And Vidovic, all 6'7" of him, wins the header. That's something that we don't have with the rest of our teams. We don't have anyone that's 6'7" like Vidovic that can just dominate in the air. He doesn't have the best aerial ability, but obviously he's pretty dang good if he can win headers like that. Marcus Connor's going to replace Ring. Gabriel Enrique's tired, but with just a 1-0 or 1-goal lead, I don't want to risk taking him out because we don't have Phil Savage. So we don't, like, our best backup is Mather going to attacking mid and Busk coming in at center mid, which we can probably do now that we have a 2-goal lead. Diaby has scored. I will bring Mather up to attacking mid and bring on Preben Busk as a box-to-box midfielder. He's a little bit more defensive than Mather is, so he can help us hold on to this lead a little bit better. But that is 3-1. It looks like we are through to the semifinal of the FA Cup. I don't know who's left. I haven't looked in a while, so I'm not sure who's left in the competition, but maybe we should be getting the draw before the next game because we have an international break, like I said before. So Wilson's tired. Let's take him off. He's playing poorly too. F Young might start next game. Let's move F Young back to wide midfielder position, just to be a little bit more defensively solid. 10 minutes left. Surely we're not going to lose this from here. Vidovic looking for his hat trick. A beautiful tackle by Barker. I don't know if that's Martin Barker, the City player. It is. Martin Barker is a Man City player. He must be there on loan. Got a lot of potential for that young Englishman. Can play anywhere down the spine. Thought of signing him, but the price was a little bit too high. There's also a guy from Fulham, I believe, a box-to-box midfielder that I really... Or no, he's a deep... Was he a deep line playmaker or box-to-box? I think he was a box-to-box that I really wanted. I really, really wanted him. But Tottenham had the money. They bought him. I didn't have my money yet from the $100 million sale, so I couldn't sign him. I didn't have any money. I had like $750K in my transfer budget. So I could not afford him. I was trying to unsettle him and get him unsettled by the time we have the money. But we unsettled him, and then Tottenham came in, and he agreed to a deal with Tottenham. Very frustrating, but he looks like he's going to be an absolute world-class player. I'm so sad that Tottenham got him. But speaking of that, just ignoring the game going on behind us, have we made all our subs? We have. So that'll be the end of the game. We will win the quarterfinal of the FA Cup. We'll make our way to the final. I'll see who we get after this. I might have to advance a little bit further. I don't know if it'll tell me when the draw is. Very happy with the result and the way you played. Vidovic is just ridiculous. We hammer Bournemouth, win the FA Cup quarterfinal. Vidovic is on form. And looks like a manager's about to get fired. Sack your agent. I've never not seen that work. If anyone ever wants an improved deal, how many years does he have left? 2 years. So yeah, that's fine. 100K a week. That's fine. That's a fine amount of money for a backup center back. He should not be getting more money, even though he might be the starter right now. Still, always sack the agent. Always. It always works. But we see when the draw is. FA Cup semifinal draw is on the next day. So let's just send our assistant to this press conference and advance to the draw. Looks like Man United, and I couldn't see who else was in there. It's in another quarterfinal draw. Man United, Everton, and Man United win. That's unfortunate. I would have loved to meet Everton in the semifinal of the FA Cup or the final. Final would have been perfect. If we could have met Everton in the final, that would have been a storybook ending. He wants Man United. My assistant wants Man United. Interesting. I don't know if I want Man United. A couple of youngsters I've been scouting. I scouted all the players on my short list that hadn't been scouted recently, just to get an idea of how everyone that at one point I thought was a good player, obviously. They're on my short list. At one point they were a good player. See if they still are. Looks like not a whole lot of them are. Some of them are, but they're at big clubs. A lot of players that just aren't that good anymore, that were once like 4-star players for me. We've gotten a lot better over the past 2 seasons. Obviously, it's showing as we're the best team. I really wish I could have got Saric. Man City eventually got him. He looks so good. He's injury prone and inconsistent, which I think was the only thing holding me back. But he looks so good. A great center back or a left back. Great physicals. It's disappointing not to have him, but I think we're pretty good with the players we've got. I don't regret it too much. See if there's any other good players in here. Kovalenko, 50 to 97 million. That's not. He's a fullback. I don't know if we need a fullback. We don't really need a right back, but he's a ridiculous right back. Yeah, that guy's amazing for 21 years old. Benfica have the most ridiculous youth academy ever. They have like 7 world-class players on their team just from their youth intakes. It's unbelievable. Andy's green consistency. Oh, I do need a backup right back. He's a little good to be a backup, and that's a lot of money to pay for a backup, but I'm still considering it. Let's see if we can get this draw. Should be coming any day now. It said it was coming on the 21st, so we just advance a couple more times. You should see there. I want to stay with you through this. I don't want to do another cut. I'm being lazy. I'm just talking through it. It's got to come soon. It better come soon. Now? Nope. Still not yet. Now? Nope. Still not yet. This is some high-quality Football Manager. Oh, I think I just skipped it. We get Man United. Accidentally skipped it, but who's in the other fixture? The other fixture is Brighton versus Arsenal, so we could have gotten Brighton. But it looks like we're going to face Arsenal in another cup final if we can beat Man United. I don't expect Brighton to beat Arsenal, so if we beat Man U, it's going to be Arsenal in the final, almost guaranteed. That would be nice to get Bournemouth or get Brighton and knock one of those 2 big teams out, but Arsenal, how are they doing in the league now? They're 3rd in the league, but they have a game in hand over Man City. They don't have a game in hand over us, though. But Man United are 8th on 51 points. We're 31 points ahead of them, so that should be a comfortable win. We already saw when we'd be back, but I'll show you one last time, just to remind you. This FA Cup semifinals right after that, too. I have to come back for us winning the league, right? Like, I know it's pretty much a guarantee right now, but I still want to do it. So I guess I'll be back for Burnley, Pacos, and I might do Man United in the first leg of the next round. And I don't know how I'll do it, but I'll figure it out. Man United twice in a month. That sucks. I'll see you next time, though. If you've made it this far, why don't you like the video, subscribe, and click the bell. The links to all my socials are also in the description. I really appreciate all your support. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time.